Let's take a quick listen. You can see in the right hand, we're going to start off basic with quarter notes, work on good hand shapes. And then the rhythm changes in the left hand, as well as the right hand later. Some of these rhythms are from pieces like Bruno Mars, or right now, Adele, Easy on Me, the left hand. Hello, so here we are. Rhythm patterns, accompaniments are not only so much fun, but you can get so many skills out of these exercises, and they're endless. There are so many patterns out there as well as songs. But from hand coordination to counting rhythmic skills to reviewing or learning chords as well as chord progressions, and lastly but not least, most important is improving your sense of time and feel on the keyboard. I have a play along at the end of this video. You can either just listen for a demonstration. Also, I encourage you to play along if you wish. The exercises are going to be in stepwise motion, so you can always come back to the harder ones if you feel like it's too intimidating right now. So let's talk about some of the required skills you should have when you start getting into this lesson. Basic rhythm knowledge as well as basic notation knowledge. Recommended skills, definitely get the notes down on the keyboard, know some of the pitches, the staff, and basic rhythms will really help you get full value out of this lesson. Don't worry if you feel overwhelmed. I have many videos. I'll leave links in the description so you can check those out and work in a stepwise motion. All right, the video lesson is broken down in parts. There's going to be 3 main left hand moving parts. The first one is pretty easy, just whole notes. And if you can't play the octave yet, fine, just play the top note. The second 2 exercises in the left hand get pretty rhythmic, which is important to get down because you'll find them in songs. The right hand, I mainly keep in one position. I play blocked, broken, and I play blocked again, and I move it around a little bit. Other ideas and rhythms that I get through is like Elton John, Honky Cat. However, I am making this for new learners, so there's similarities. The ingredients are similar, but not exactly the same. I brought that up because some of my viewers want to know what rhythms apply to perhaps what songs. Let's begin with some simple stuff with the right hand shapes. You want to get this down so you're really comfortable. We're starting with E minor, and we have the G at the bottom there, so that would be what inversion? You got it. It would be the first inversion. And then after that, we are going to go to D major, second inversion. Going down to C major, second inversion. And then B major, second inversion. All these chords are linked to E minor, and I'm influencing the E harmonic minor, hence that D sharp. You need to get into that if you haven't. I have a video on E harmonic minor. You want to practice that scale. Scales help you. It goes a long way. More on that later. So now let's go ahead and play both parts nice and slow. And if you think you get it down pretty well, you're pretty fluid, definitely get into a metronome practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch my left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Did you see my hand prep, how I'm getting into the right position, giving myself plenty of time? That is a good skill to get into. If you have that down, you're ready to go to exercise 2. The first goal will be the left hand rhythm. So now we're going to make the rhythmic grid a little smaller, meaning we're going to subdivide eighth notes. We're actually going to just look at beat 3 first. So we have an eighth rest in the left hand, and then after that we play on the up beat. Some say off beat. I like to think up. So it goes 3 and, okay? 3 and. Now I'll do both hands. 3 and 4. That's what I'm doing. From the beginning, 1, 2, and 3 and 4. If you feel relaxed and you can get that fairly easy, like what I'm doing, I'm talking and playing it, then you're good to go to transition to the next measure. I'll start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did bring that left hand up to a D because that will help us prepare for some other left hand rhythm notes, or rhythm grooves if you will, and a few exercises. Every good teacher should say this. If you're having a hard time with that, isolate the problem area and also go slower. Let's look at exercise 3. This is where we're going to be challenging our rhythmic skills in the left hand. If you've done your homework right, we have mastered left hand beat 1, and we've mastered the left hand on the N of 3. That goes 3N. So now we have a 16th rest. That, if you look, it's right underneath the quarter note in the right hand. That's because we don't play on the 4, but with 16ths we count as an E. So we play on the 4E, 4E. So it's going to sound like this. I'm going to start on beat 4, right hand, and then the left hand. It's going to sound kind of funky because I'm just showing a bit of the ingredient. I'm not going through the whole phrase yet. So we have 4E and A, all right? That D sharp acts as a half step approach going to the next chord. I will go ahead and demonstrate the first measure slow, and I'm going to count it out so you can see and hear how things line up. 1, 2, 3E and A, 4E and A, 1, 2, and 3E and A, 4E and A, 1, 2, and 3, and 4E and A, 1. The last one I did 2 C's because it would fit better with the chords. One thing you can do, by the way, if you want, I think I have it in an exercise, you don't have to go down a half step. You can simply keep it on E. For instance, 1, 2, and 3, and 4E and A, 1, 2, and 3, and 4E and A, 1. After a while, you won't have to count. You'll be able to feel it, but it's really important to understand what you're doing and how the counts are lining up. That's one method of learning. Many of you have reached out to me and you've mentioned about me counting out loud. It helps. So there you go. We're going to go to exercise 4, which is a bit of a break for the left hand. Now we're looking at broken notes, which is found in many, many pieces of music and songs. Here's a good little technique tip. When we're playing, we're doing our first chord up here, Jim, E minor. We're going like this. Try to avoid splatting notes. So try to avoid that. So go slow. Use this as a warm-up. Just takes a minute or 2. 2 and 3 and 4, and then switching. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. And if you're ready to use the pedal, listen to your sound. Pedal up right before the downbeat. And 1 and 2 and. The left hand is the same like exercise 1. We start again with whole notes. Let's go to 5. Exercise 5, we have the subdivision. The left hand is on 1, and then the 8th note subdivision on the N of 3. So hopefully you're starting to link your skills up. And that's what happens in music. If you keep at it, you'll go back and see, oh, I've already learned this pattern. This is cool. And that's the benefit of practice. So the left hand, I'll play both. The right hand is outlining everything. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I'm using the pedal. Watch what I do. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and so I actually played something different on the recording. That's why I changed it there, that last part. But most importantly is the right hand. I am outlining the 8th notes. And then if you notice, I mentioned about the pedal. I have the pedal down so my left hand can prepare for the next beat and even go slower. Real quick, if you're getting value out of this lesson, could you hit the thumbs up button so it reaches other awesome people like you? Let's go to 6. So guess what? If you've done your practice work, the only tricky part will be getting that coordination on the N and on the 4E. What's the common problem? Why will students have a hard time with exercise 6? The reason we'll have a hard time with 6 is because we're going to be playing it too fast. So you can see the box around the problem area. I'm going to start there. And I might just start not even octaves, just here. So I'm going to go 3 and 4 E and I'll do it again. 3 E and 4 E and Now I'll play from the beginning. If you notice the coordination there, basically this is together, alone, alone, alone. Now I'll play from the beginning. Got excited. I'm a little geek when it comes to subdividing. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and All right, if you understand that, great, you can speed it up. As I am speaking into the microphone and making this video, I have met many students that will progress through the years, but they'll always be challenged rhythmically because we didn't do that work of going really slow. And I can imagine there's hands going, there's chords, I'm counting. So let's just break it down. Let's just look at beat 3. We're going to do this. 3 and, okay? Beat 4. 4 E and, 4 E and. So you can practice that. 4 E and. All right, now I'll play beat 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Whoops. Play it correctly. I'll play beats 3 and 4. 8 notes first, Jim. Go and 3 and 4 E and. And it's okay to make mistakes. There you go, right? That one was correct, so make sure you outline that. All right, we're getting there. 7, the big goal here is your accuracy with chord playing. So we have beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4 the same, and then D. A lot of times when we're playing songs, the keyboard player will have chords underneath the melody, and that's the goal for this one. And as an educator, I get to throw in a little chord inversion work for you. And as you can see, the left hand's the same. What do you want to do when you're focusing on the right hand? Your main goal is to get comfortable with the hand shapes. You can do it second nature. You can do it without even looking, like I demonstrated in another video. Do you see how my hands went and kind of touched the keys, just feeling it? That's beneficial. And go slower if you need to. All right, now we're going to 8. We are spicing up the left hand. We have some groove notes there. Here we go. I'm going to subdivide 8th notes so I can get the and of 3 correctly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 to B major, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Like all the other things I've been saying, slow it down if you need to, isolate it. And this lesson is geared for the learner who wants to just work a few at a time and then you come back to it. You don't need to overwhelm yourself. All right, here we go. 9 is challenging because you're playing the chords in the right hand and then we have the spicy rhythm. So make sure you review the coordination issues you might have. Even if you got it the day before, we got to keep at it, keep our brain fresh and in tune. So with the right hand, I'm just going to teach the rhythm. It goes 3 and 4 E. So that's the visual. Right hand, left, right, left. So when we're thinking 16 notes now, the grid is a shorter sound. We're not going faster. The tempo's the same. Here I go. Left hand, I am only going to play beats 3 and 4. Slow. 3 and 4 E and then we go to D major. 9, I'll play a few bars of it. And then when you check out the play along, I do have the drums and me playing, but I'm not trying to count so much, but I did have some of the counts notated in just so you could hear what's happening. You can always come back to this part of the video if you prefer just the counts. Okay, here I go. Number 9, slow. Just a few bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1. And also I was kind of improvising there. The left hand does go one. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and like that. All right, so check out the play along. hopefully everything was clear for you and you're improving. Let me know how your practicing is going, and have fun. 3, 4. Next pattern, and. First of all, thank you for making it to the end of the video. It really helps us content creators out. And if you do enjoy my content, be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. That'd be great. And stay tuned for some more videos like this. And as always, I encourage feedback because then I can help everyone. Bye for now. Take care.